Hi, I'm Jake from AtheistNetwork.com and AfterFaith.com. I've got a question for Christians. What the hell is up with Satan? So, okay, here we have Satan. He fought a war with God, lost, and kicked down to hell, and now spends his time keeping the riffraff, away from God by being the instigator of evil and torturing their souls forever. Have I got it right so far? Yeah? Good. Okay, so now the big question. Who tempted Satan to fall? If sin is defined as transgression against God's law, and if temptation comes from, the devil, then who tempted the devil to transgress God's law? Now, I know that right now, there are a bunch of Christians standing around thinking to themselves, well, Jake, Satan had free will and he chose not to go with God. He wanted God's power for himself. Wait, what? I thought that nothing unclean could dwell with God. How is it that Satan was able to plot against God and still be in God's presence? Wait, don't even bother trying to think of an answer. I mean, none of this really addresses the question of who tempted Satan. It's not about Satan's choice to sin. It's about who put the thought in his head to begin with. And that in and of itself opens a can of worms. If you claim that Satan could sin without being tempted, then couldn't we as well? And if so, then why does God allow Satan to tempt us or even to exist? Also, what's to stop someone else in heaven from thinking he can do better than Satan? How do we know there won't be more wars in heaven? And if there can be more wars in heaven, then what happens to the idea of heaven being eternally blissful in love and joy and goodness and oh my hell? Or maybe, just maybe, none of it makes sense because none of it's real. Maybe all this was made up by ancient goat herders who were just contemplating their own mortality. Maybe Satan is just another character in a really bad story and wasn't thought out all the way through. That, or maybe your God's an idiot. Anyways, thanks for watching.